Good afternoon, my fellow family, friends, and colleagues. It's your girl, Dr. Charity, aka the Queen of Divas, and I'm here to give you your weekly encouragement on today. Well, on this beautiful, gorgeous, it is a beautiful, not as steamy as it was last weekend, but it's beautiful and gorgeous out there on this gorgeous, beautiful, blessed day. Uh, If you're alive today, regardless of how it feels and how what's been going on, regardless of how it looks like, you are blessed. It's a blessed day for all of us. The fact that you're alive and viewing me right now is a blessing. The fact that you're able to move anything, if it ain't nothing but the pinky finger, it's a blessing. The fact that you're able to digest is a blessing. The fact that you're able to breathe, do anything, is nothing but a blessing. Just like that natural sun. You see the beam, you see the gleam, you see the glow, don't you know? And even though the rain has came in, which was necessary, we need it because of that drought, is guess what? It's still, I ain't never seen so many rainbows in 1 week. Where the rain come in and the sun is right there on the horizon. Which ain't nothing but a promise that, guess what? It can't rain all the time. There's a silver lining. What I used to tell you that Jacqueline Carr said years ago? Or was it won't Jacqueline Carr? It was Tasha Cobbs Leonard. There's a rainbow behind the cloud. The sun is bursting out. Just believe. You gotta believe. Just believe. Come on. There's a rainbow behind the cloud. The sun is bursting out. If only you believe. But everybody gets the blessing. The blessing is rain upon the just as well as the unjust. So a dog sees blessings. A mouse sees blessings. A squirrel receives and sees blessings. That's on all of us. But there's also, from that resemblance, from the same effort that you see this natural sun, there's also the spiritual sun, who wants to rain down his favor into, just for you and through you, your life. That's the favor of God. But the question to you, as I've always asked, are you ready? You ready for it? You ready for it? Or should I put it in the famous way that I said that I would put it? I was able to preach, if I was ever come to preach an initial sermon, what it would be called, How Bad Do You Want It? Because there's a lot of times that we want something, but don't want it bad enough. You want it bad enough, you'll do the sacrifice. You'll do what it takes to get to it. Ain't nothing gonna stop you. When somebody can walk away and say, you know what, if it take all that, excuse me, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. Well, that means you didn't want it that bad. So that's why I always ask you, are you ready for it? Because there's greatness. But that greatness is a great also responsibility. Are you ready for it? Good question, ain't it? Well, I want to just dive right in right now. I want to reach out and tell somebody. I want to encourage somebody today. So I want to hop right into it right now. Does anybody feel that's tuning in today? Does anybody feel like that their life story, like you got other folks that are trying to tell you and dictate how your life is supposed to be? Does anybody feel like that today? I'm just going to reach out to a few folks today. But I want to reach out specifically for those. Does anybody feel like that their story is not being heard, but rather dictated? Somebody trying to create their life, create a life story, create your story of your life from their own perspective instead of yours. Anybody feel like that today? Okay, let me piggyback. I'm gonna spin it around another way. Does anybody feel like that their life story is not being considered? Their own life story is not being heard because of the opinions of others and the preferences of others people's lives? Does anybody feel like that I don't even have a life? I don't even feel like I have a life because everybody else is putting their 2 cents of where and how things should go. Does anybody feel like that? Okay, because if that's you today, you exactly who I'm talking to. I want you to come here. Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. Lend me your ear. Come here. I need you to come right up in here. Give me your ear right now. Right now. Come here. Because I got something to tell you. I'm going to encourage you today. I'm going to encourage everybody. Whether you feel like this, but this is specifically for the person that feels like their story is not being heard or being dictated to the point where your life views, goals, and wants and desires is not being heard. Well, guess what? Somebody is hearing it, and here is your encouragement beginning on today. Come here. Come here. Let me hear. So, if I had to give this weekly encouragement a title, it would be, It's Your Story. Don't compare. Somebody, and I want you to let it resonate, and I'm going to say it again. Let it resonate. It's your story. Don't compare. No comparison. Okay? When somebody's tuning in today and saying, Dr. Charity, what you mean by it's my story? I mean, okay, I hear you. It's my story. But why, if it's my story, does it seem like everybody else is trying to go and tell me what my story is supposed to be like? Because I'm glad you asked. Because that's human nature. It's human nature that when things doesn't go according to what we believe, according to what we lived and saw, a lot of us, regardless if it is subconsciously or unconsciously, regardless if we meant to do it or it's just a slip, we got a habit as human beings to then look at somebody else's life and say, that's not how it goes. That ain't how it happened when I did it. That's not the way you deal with, honey. And that's where we end up causing a hiccup. That's where we end up being wrong a lot of the times. Because there goes exactly what goes into the next one. If somebody's asking, well, what you mean by no comparison or don't compare? I meant exactly what I said. But Dr. Charity, what you mean? So are we not? So Dr. Charity, are you saying that Dr. Charity, are you saying that we don't look at each other's lives? No, you can watch somebody else's life story, but don't take your life story and then because it don't look like Quita's life story or cousin Shanice's life story, then say, well, I probably did something wrong because Shanice did it that way and she got it. No, 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 no. That's where you got a pause. That's what I'm talking about today. So here I go. So I was meditating this week and just meditating, just going through, just dealing within myself. Because as I told you, my life is not in transition no more. My life is in change. What's happening, what's the way my life is, the very thing that I was told 3 years ago is actually taking place. So change is scary. It is necessary. But I'm here to tell somebody it's scary. Even when it's in your own life. It's more scary in your own life than in somebody else's, watching somebody else have to do it. So I was meditating. And boy, I just didn't know where to go because it just seemed like, because my focus won't there, just nothing got to me. So I was thinking about something one night and as I was meditating, tears began to stroll down my face and I listened to T.D. Jakes. I didn't even listen to the T.D. Jakes sermon that his son preached on Sunday. I went to one of his archive messages. And boy, when he talked about that thing, he talked about it's not going to kill me. Boy, that was enough motivation right there. I felt that in my shanana, all through my shanana. I said, okay, it's not going to kill me. This ain't going to kill me. Okay, it's just going to make me stronger. This is only the beginning. This ain't taking me out because this is just the beginning. So I took that and it motivated me and kind of boosted me up. So I listened on Saturday and heard something coming from Pastor Mike Jr. from one of his archives. Pastor Mike Jr. talked about how if somebody don't have the experience, I'm not finna listen and take no advice from somebody I'm not gonna take no advice, no guidance from somebody that ain't never had the expertise within themselves. That ain't to be rude, but that's just to be real. Because you're not going to tell me how to do my life and you ain't even been down this road. I said, you know what, Pastor Mike Jr., you're so right. Because I've seen that in my life where people said, ooh, you a young lady. Let me tell you how you do it. And they'll sit there and give you the whole rundown of what to go to school to study. Oh, they're not guiding you they literally, when you get grown, I had people do that. Where you need to go to school, what you need to study, how you need to work, um, how you wear your hair, if you should wear makeup, uh, what the jewelry should look like. If there is any accessories on the body that you need, most of the time, no. How you dress, what type of shoes. I literally have had people do that in my life. Literally just running down, telling me everything. But I love what the good old, well-known and well-famous Oprah Winfrey said at a college graduation. She said, there's only one of you. Do not compare your life to nobody else's life because there's only one of you. So you've got to live your life. That's why the title today of the weekly encouragement to anybody who's tuning in is your life. Do not compare. That's where we end up missing out on what's strictly for us because we looking at somebody else's life, and because people get in your ear and start telling you, well, Shaquita did it that way, and guess what? When Shaquita did it that way, she got it. Girl, I don't know what your problem is. I would do what Shaquita did. That's exactly why you end up not get. Hey, at the end of the day, is your name Shaquita? That's the question. Anytime that somebody comes, and I'm telling somebody today, anytime that somebody come in your ear and say so-and-so did it or I did it this way, look, the question is you need to go to the mirror and ask, what is my name? If your name is Ashley, then you should not have to be living. You're not going to do things the way Lauren did it. Because this is Ashley's life, not Lauren's life. Okay? 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 So I'm telling somebody today, it's your story. Don't let folks get into your ear, because Pastor Mike Jr. said it right. When somebody start getting in your ear and trying to give guidance and advice on how it goes, look, times is changing, things change. I had to learn that. I'm going to use myself. I had to learn that myself. I listened to folks that told me, you got no business. Oh, no, girl, I wouldn't go to school and study psychology. It's good to be in the medical field, but, I would do like, they got so many opportunities you can be, a medical assistant. And I'm sitting there like, okay, thank you for the advice. But what's so out of place of going to school to be the actual counselor or therapist? What's the problem? Well, see, it's just easier and better to do it that way because then, you just don't. And I'm sitting there like, but that's because you didn't want to take that risk. Just because you didn't want to take the risk don't mean that I need to stay handicapped. Mm-mm. You looking at somebody today that's been studying psychology for 19 years. Yeah. I'm literally halfway to the mark of being a credentialed counselor with an expertise in an expertise field, along with being a certified in so many other different aspects of healthcare. That ain't never happened in my family. Got enough nurses and aides to go around. They ain't never had no doctor, but you're looking at one today. But that's because I decided that I wasn't going to take what my cousins and other families did and compare that to my life. If I feel like I can do it and this is what God said He going to favor me in, then I'm going to do it the way God said it. Okay? I'm just using my testimony so whoever's tuning in today know that they can relate to me. It's your story. Or should I say, for those who are less saved, I heard it from Avril Lavigne years ago. Not, is it Avril Lavigne? It's either Avril Lavigne or Gwen Stefani that said, "It's my life, don't you forget." I know we that's for the white folks. That's us black folks. We didn't listen to pop like that. But that was a song. It never ends. It's my life. That's the attitude that you need to go through this week. Whoever's tuning in, you need to go through this week like that. It's my story. That's the way that the world put it years ago when I was a teenager. Does anybody that's religious, you put it this way. What did Blessed Assurance say in the hymn? This is my story and this is my song, praising my Savior all the day long. This is your story. This is your life. Don't let no family, don't let no friend, don't let no stranger try to live and inflect or reflect upon your life their dreams, their decisions and preferences and wishes. Because you know what? To be honest, let me give you a little fun fact. A lot of people do that, trying to live the rest of their life through you, because guess what? They don't want to take they don't want to take the risk in their life, so they're gonna sit there and try to live it through your life. Well, guess what? You don't have to do that. And I'm telling somebody today, don't do it. It's your story. Let God's glory, the what he promised to you and the purpose he has for you, come through your life the way he planned it. Don't listen to what's on the outside. Because when you do that, that's where you end up not enjoying what was for you. What God has for you. What did Monique, forgive me. What did the lady from the mass choir say back in the 90s? What God has for me, it is for me. And it is for me. Ain't that the song? It's for you. Don't let nobody else outside detour or distract you from receiving what is for you, because it's yours. But you have to realize, beginning on today, that this is your story. Do not take the word of advice from somebody just because they feel like they got the best advice, just because they got the years. Just because they got the years don't mean they got the expertise. And guess what? Nobody knows. Here's the fun fact. And I want everybody tuning in today to take this right now. Listen to what I got to say. Take this right here. Nobody knows your story better than you. Only God does. Not even mommy and daddy know your life story better than you. Only God does. So don't let nobody come in and try to dictate how the outcome of your life's supposed to be. We don't have that many entrepreneurs in my family, but guess what? You're looking at one right here. Because I said, look, it doesn't hurt to at least get your toe, stick your toe in there. Everybody don't like to take a risk, but you know what? One thing about me, I've been taking risks all the time. Some of it has been resilience, some of it has been rebellion, but I've always been a risk taker. And a lot of time when I took risks, I did the damage and watched everybody else look at me like, you did that, but see, you're not supposed, but see, I thought, but see, with that, I mean, I would say, but see, because of the fact that you're still here and your life is still carrying on, it's not bad, but how would it, that's why I do it like that. Because it's a lot. I've told y'all what I've done. School, work, children, family. Wasn't supposed to, but I did it. Because I said, I'm willing to take the risk. Who's tuning in today is willing to take the risk, regardless of who has the say so and the input into your life. What did God? The question is not what did they say. The question today is, what did God say? I'm gonna give you a little bit more of the testimony that comes and draws back to what Oprah Winfrey said about comparing, because there's only one of you. I had a problem doing that. Didn't necessarily compare my life when it came to college and work, because I already knew that what my expertise was in. So I really didn't have nobody to compare with in that. I didn't really compare myself when it came to the business, because hey, I was one of a kind. Not within my social circle, I didn't really have that much competition. So I knew as long as you put your foot out there and take the risk, you can go somewhere. And I did. But there was one impact. There was one part of my life that everybody, besides, me being a mother, me being able to drive, those were two aspects where a lot of people did not agree with, even down to my own family at times. Because it's like, hey, whoa, we got to, some things you can take a risk at, but some things you need to just kind of think through before we take a risk. Well, I wanted to drive, so I did the damage. I went and bought the car. I bought the car and the insurance policy before I had the license. Then when I found out that they were not going to give me any assistance to get to my job, I said, okay, you gonna write something and tell the state of North Carolina that I can drive? Doctor told me, look, here's what we'll do. Matter of fact, I'm gonna look out for you. I'm gonna write the letter. Then we'll just up your medication. I mean, you're doing fine just as it is. Let's just up your medication, see if you can handle it. And when she did that, my father pushed me, being the great daddy that he is, and I ended up with license. Full-blown license, no restrictions. But that was because somebody took a risk. Because I went and bought the car. I never forget when I bought the car. And my mother was looking at me like, you spent all your money on the car. Why did you go buy a car? Because I want to drive. I don't care what they say. I want to drive. Same thing when I had kids. They looked at me and said, but you have a baby. But see, that's a baby, honey. You know, your body go through so much for 9 months. Then the labor and delivery, then taking care of a child, and then you're gonna have to take care of it. So that means you're gonna be working. Like, how are you gonna do this? And with I don't understand. You ain't got to understand. This is my life. Okay? Thank you. God got me. If it don't work the first time, don't worry. Then that's confirmation that it ain't God's will. Guess what? It worked every time. I ended up having 3 children. And it got better and better. Didn't nothing happen to me besides the blessing and the favor of God shining on me. So, I'm telling somebody today, it's your story. Don't sit there and take from somebody else's or watch, listening to other folks' stories and watching somebody else's and saying, well, I tried to do it that way and it just didn't work. It's not supposed to work because, again, when you find out that it didn't work equivalently, go look in the mirror and ask, what is your name again? If your name is not Keisha, but your name is Tasha, then you need to do it the way God told Tasha to do, not do it the way that God told Keisha. Because it ain't Keisha's life that's in the mirror. It's Tasha's life. Let me give the last example from me. I used to compare the love story. I said, well, they did it that way. You know, maybe I need to do it like that. You know, maybe I need to get a friend. You know, maybe it got to be somebody with a title. Maybe, God, well, maybe if you just did it this way, and maybe if he didn't have that, and maybe if I did that, I really did do that. I really did try to compare and say, okay, so how would I do it to put myself and get the same, at least get my husband? How would I do it? I already told you last week that the one that is close and dear to my heart, guess what? If I'm not allowed, because I there's a story to it. There's a big old long story. The story has got some details that I'm not allowed to share. But I'll tell you one thing: this ain't no fairy tale. This ain't no Cinderella. This story of me and mine ain't no Cinderella. There ain't no fairy tale. If I told you, just like I tell my patients when it come to my not my love story, but my life story, if I open up this encyclopedia, you'll be sitting there in amazement like, what? Girl, you know you didn't. Oh my God. I said the same thing with this aspect of my life. It's a jaw dropper. Because if I tell you where it started from and what, woo, you will be looking at me like, okay, this has got to be. Please tell me you're a temptation. You're Eddie Kendricks, and this is just your imagination. It was just my imagination, right? Because this can't happen. This really can't happen. It can when it's the will of God. The life story is not meant to be as the Spirit dealt with me, because I sure was asking myself, is this really real? The Spirit told me, said, look, this is your love story. Who cares how your best friends and your cousins got married? That's their story. Your story is going to be different, because guess what? Who life is it? Yours. Okay. So Charity's love story should not equal up to Keisha's. It's never going to have the same process, because it ain't the same woman, nor is it the same man. Okay? Even if you did marry a set of twins, the love story is not going to be the same. How you met, how you crossed paths, the process of the relationship, none of that's going to be the same. So you can't compare. You can't compare one to another. What the outcome going to be and what it's supposed to be. Nah. Nah, you just tune in to what God tell you. And whatever God says is what you go by. I tried to compare myself and ended up getting hurt because I tried to stick up and stay on the same level, finding out later on, as the Spirit revealed to me, girl, where she's at, you've already arrived. You don't need no man for that. The man, look, you don't need a man on that level. She needed assistance and guidance because this is the area that she's having, her mountain is a hill to you because you've already accomplished it by yourself without a man. Your mountain, no, you need a man that is got a little bit more high up. You don't need no man that's down where she's at. She's at where she's accomplishing, which is a mountain to her. That's her life. But what may be a mountain to one person may not be nothing but a hill to another, which in that case it was in my life. And the Spirit told me, that's why I brought the person on your level or a little bit higher. Because what you need is not that. You need something a little bit more higher up. So if you higher up, the man has to be higher up. He got to be on your level, if not higher. Now, the one that I hold dear to my heart is on that level, where I'm able to learn, where there's plenty of times where I'm sitting there listening to him, just letting him, just observing him instead of my mouth talking. Because you learn so much from the one that I'm with. So wise. Has so much expertise. I'm learning stuff from him that I ain't never learned from a young black man. But I said all that to say this. That's why you don't compare. Because what is meant for you is you. You cannot compare it to nobody else and weigh it against nobody else. That's why today the word of advice to you is don't let nobody detour you and distract you from your story. This is your story. Go through this week believing and knowing that this is my story and ain't nobody gonna shut my story down. Ain't nobody gonna get in my ear and tell me how my story is supposed to be unless it's God himself. Ain't nobody else gonna say nothing. Because it's your story, not nobody else's. And do not compare to nobody else. Because you want in the end the promise that God meant specifically for you. And to work and move in your purpose, specifically your purpose, not live through nobody else's. Because you can't live through nobody else's. But people going to try to live through yours. But I need you to go through this week and say what God has for me is for me. And I'm going to do it God's way. Because this is my life. This is my story. And I'm going to do it the way God told me to do it. Not how you tell me to do it. Because it is my story. I'm just saying, go through this week and watch what happens. Because the promise is waiting on you. Just do what God said do. And do it his way. Because it's your story and he wants the glory. Don't listen to the other folks out there. Do it the way he said do it. Don't change nothing about your life to equivalent to somebody else. Live your life and be proud and confident of who you are, because it ain't nobody else out there like you, and can't nobody do it like you. Okay? Because God made you unique, and you are unique, and you got a unique story. Live it out, beginning right now. Well, that's all that I have for you on today, but tune in next week for another weekly encouragement or motivational. Please go and subscribe to Lady Superwoman on YouTube for all your weekly motivationals and encouragements. That is at Lady Superwoman 9999. There's 4 9s at Lady Superwoman 9999 for all of the weekly encouragements. And remember, go through this week believing and knowing that it's my story, and I'm not letting nobody else improvise, reflect, or deflect me from living my story. This is my life, and I shall live and receive what he has for me. I love it. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.